Hello everybody, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. It's October 8th, 2023 at 11:32 p.m. And I'm going to read out loud one of the first targeted person's testimony that they wanted me to read for them. So she labeled it Travelin TI. And let's see, the date of this is October. Let me see. She sent it October 2nd. I sometimes describe myself as a simple, middle-aged secretary who was completely unprepared to be put in a situation like this. Honestly, I am, as is my story, more complex, and so, in the interest of time, I will share a story about a trip I took in December 2022. I only started to fully understand what being a TI, quote unquote, was in mid to late 2022, and shockingly, that I had been put in this program probably starting in 2021. Although not a whistleblower, never having any dealings with the law, etc., I am heavily targeted in all areas: physical, fiscal, psychological, and social. In December 2022, the physical electronic attacks on me were so severe, there were times I thought that if they didn't kill me, I don't know. I understand that people have ideas on being an empath, and it can mean different things to different people, but for me, I am sensitive to many things. But the worst experience for me is watching someone else in pain. Perhaps they wanted to push me over the edge, as by late 2022, as they started also attacking my cat. One Friday night in December, I could not take the pain anymore or watching my cat in pain. So I packed the car with my cat, needed items, and left my house. I started driving with the bright light of the drone ahead rarely leaving my sight. For the first couple of hours, the intense pain at the crown of my head and back of the neck would not relent. The cat hates the car, and on top of trying to stay focused on the road, I was distracted by her getting sick, etc. Of course, there was the entourage of my GPSers following us as they traveled first hours on regular roads, not highways, leaking tears that refused to wait and praying out loud to God to help. I just remember something weird. I had the urge to shake off the cars behind me and took a turn off the road to another and into a CVS parking lot to U-turn. There was a slight older woman leaning against the outside, smoking. She approached me as I was stopped waiting to pull out. She had picked up medicine and was in pain and lived less than a mile away, and asked if I could give her a ride. Of course, I'm thinking this could be a stalker, but what was their game? She could have a gun and rob me. I decided to give her a ride, as the thought of someone in pain and without anyone to help her, maybe I imagined that I could be someday. She ended up living in a building I suspect was elderly apartments, and I probably could have seen it from the CVS during the day. I'm glad I gave her the ride, as due to what I've been through since then, I probably would not help someone today. I had decided to travel to a place in West Virginia about 400 miles from my home. There is an observatory there, and for miles around it is a quiet zone, quote unquote, and Wi-Fi is not allowed. A TI woman by the name of Bernadette had moved there and posted about it on Quora, and believed this lessened the electronic harassment a bit. She had an accident and was killed October 2022. But I still held some hope that it could be better. So that is a story Travelin TI, October 2nd, 2023. And feel free to share your questions or comments for this individual. And thank you so much for sharing this little story. I'm sure it's one of dozens and dozens. And thank you so much for trusting me to read it out loud. And I hope things get better for you and for all of us. And I do know, I have heard about that place that you traveled to in West Virginia. I heard that it was a quiet zone a few years ago, that Wi-Fi was not allowed. But until reading your testimony here, I was not aware that that woman died in an accident and was killed in October 2022. That's very, very sad. And of course, even sadder that in this community of so many of us, nobody ever shared that story with me. I didn't even know that she passed away. But thank you so much. And some people may know who the individual is because she wrote at the beginning that some people may know after you read my story, know who it is. But she remains anonymous, Travelin TI.